Assalamu alaikum everybody, how are you doing? Hope you're all well. Hey Stan, what's happening, man? Everybody remember Emanuel. We remember Emanuel. All right. Bear with me a second. I'm just sorting something out. All right, let's see what we're doing at that. Oh, this is beginning to do my 9. I'm sorting that out. So let's see who's here. Res Animates, Assalamu alaikum. Tuba. Is Tuba here? MashaAllah. Stan is here. Neil's here, MashaAllah. Walaikum salam, tranquility, peace. Camera's doing its thing again. Oh, what books are behind you? I want to focus. I need to do something about this bloody camera. You're all here, good. I hope you enjoyed the video. Apologize, I had to do a last minute switch out. Ben made a mistake when he uploaded the video for the premiere. He uploaded the intro twice, so we didn't have the full video. So as a punishment for me, I'm going to do that. We did this one today, Emanuel, and tomorrow we're going to do the one that we're supposed to have done today. So you get 2 for 1. So you should be happy Ben made that mistake. I'm going to have to put my green screen off. This bloody camera doesn't behave itself. Right, let me just do a little bit of the old housekeeping. And I heard good news as well today that the Pizzazz Towie video is first draft has been done. I just need to pinpoint where I'm going to be doing my reactions within it, and then oh, that's going to be a good one. 5 minutes. Okay, so that's saved. Content shall we? What link should we put? Membership or? Yeah, let's put the membership link up, as everyone seems to ignore the GoFundMe one. All right, let's just do that one instead. We're nearly there. Should really do all this stuff before I get on, but anyway, it is what it is. All right, assalamu alaikum everybody. Welcome to another Picking Over the Bone session. This time is reacting to the video you've just watched with my mate Emanuel. So we're going to watch the video again. We're not going to speed it up. We're going to do it at the same speed, and I'm going to react to things that I've said. Now, remember this particular video? I think it's from about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. So I wasn't quite sure whether I still hold to the positions, some of the things I said then, but we shall see. There's no need for Stan to join. There's no link going out, all right? Just so you know. So anyway, without further ado, yeah, as my mate Ilyas says, click the like button. Let the YouTube algorithm know that you're enjoying what's being seen, and it'll think maybe someone else may wish to enjoy it also. Stop being selfish and keeping it all to yourselves. Inshallah. Why did I get kicked from EF Tower? I didn't get kicked from EF Tower. Put the monetization on this particular video. Why not? Branimi Bashif. Hamza, what app do you use to keep up with praying times? I don't have an app. I just ask Alexa or Google. Usually I follow East London Masjid. Alhamdulillah. Let me see if Google works. Hey Google, what time was Isha today?
Here are some results from the web.
No. What time was Isha prayer today? Hey Google, what time was Isha prayer today?
Here is information from Islamic Relief.
So Isha was 8:38. Maghrib 7:13. So Alexa usually gives you the time. Google's being a bit lazy. If Tower needs me. If Tower doesn't need me, they're smashing it. You're liking the two-tone hair beard color going on. Yeah, it's getting old, mate. It's called old age. I wish this camera would behave itself, trying to flip in nosy and about what's behind me. Let me just do this so it focuses on me. Stupid camera. Right. All right. Ready to go? Shall we? Sorry if my answer didn't help you, but yeah, I don't use an app. You can use henna. I don't need henna. Thank you for thinking of me. Ready for showtime? What book are you reading now? I'm reading Paul at the moment. Let's go.
Remember Emanuel last time?
Right, what I want you all to do with Emanuel is hear the point he's come with at the beginning. Yeah. Now, you may not have seen Emanuel before. Emanuel encountered me prior to this encounter, and he got absolutely slapped about like a puppy, and I felt really bad. And he wanted to go away and do his research, and he's gone away, done said research, and now he's returned to refute me. Mods, let me know if I need to do slow mode, yeah? So now he's returned to refute me. Let's hear the point he's come to make.
I was a little bit rough on him, bullied him a little bit. He now has done sought his knowledge, which we told him to do, which mashallah is fantastic. And now he's come back to rebut what I said to him last time, he thinks.
Okay, now...
So we set the scene for Emanuel. Now he's going to come, and I think, yeah, this is an old video. This is from 5-6 years ago, maybe. It's amazing that the argument's just the same as I'm using now. Anyway.
Last time you talked about what's called in Acts where Peter had a dream basically, not dream, sorry, vision basically, and through that vision you were saying that you were talking about the dietary.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to present an argument or make a point, this is not how you do it. Yeah. This is not how you make an argument. This is not how you make a point. This is what we call rambling.
You're talking about the dietary law. So I wanted to know, you said that pig was not in the dietary law. So they didn't consider that as food. So what I want to know is, what did they consider as food, which was unclean? That's what I want to know. Where did you get your information? Is it the Bible?
Right.
I still don't understand what point he's come to refute at this moment in time. If anyone knows, let me know. So he's saying that I said pig wasn't considered food, which is true. No, this is not today. This is from 5-6 years ago. Right. Anyway.
First thing, you mentioned pig, not me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Second thing, that's got nothing to do with my question for you.
So I have to now set up his argument for him. It kind of becomes exhausting, to be honest.
My question was a simple one. Yeah. Did Paul teach you could eat any food?
Right. So the point being made is what Emanuel tried to claim was that Jesus made all food clean. Yeah, Jesus made all food clean, so you could basically eat anything. And my response is a simple one. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. We know he didn't through his own teachings, and we know he didn't through the actions of his disciples, according to the book of Acts. Okay. So this is what the debate's about. And then what I went on to say is that Paul, by removing the Mosaic law, has removed the prohibition on dietary laws, because dietary laws is included in the Mosaic laws. Therefore, this is the point. This is the point of contention. So before any of our Christians in the chat, yeah, well done, Christian. Yeah. Before they start with that nonsense, okay, let's establish the point. The point is, as a Christian today, are you free to eat what you like? Now, before, Emanuel said yes, he is free to eat what he likes. Okay. My contention is, according to what your Bible teaches, Christians, no, you're not. And if you're not allowed to eat everything, then Jesus never taught you could eat everything. That's the point. That's as simple as it gets. Forget all his fluff, forget everywhere he's going to go. This is the bone of contention. As a Christian today, do you have to adhere to any dietary law, or are you free to eat what you like? Anyway, that's his argument. He's saying, initially he was saying, yes, I can as a Christian. Let's see.
Yeah? Are you still standing by your original answer?
Yeah, I'm going by it, but I'm going...
No.
I'm feeling like I want to go and dig up his original video to hear his original point. I feel like I want to do that. Let's see.
No, we'll remind ourselves. Because I don't want to be misquoted and stuff. Okay. So, do you believe Paul taught all food is clean?
Yes, I do believe that.
So he does believe Paul taught all food is clean. So we've established point number one. He does believe Paul taught all food is clean. I'm going to have to keep doing this like a flipping, because he's going to keep slipping and sliding. And I want you to keep remembering, oh, you Christian. Yeah, well done, Christian. Oh, you guys. All right. His point is he agrees Paul taught all food is clean.
All food?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
All means all, without exception.
Now, after your research, did the disciples teach all food is clean?
In a sense, yeah.
No.
Okay. He says the disciples, in a sense, did teach all food is clean. In what sense?
Explain it to you.
Okay. Did disciples of Jesus teach
Yeah.
all food is clean?
I have to say, yes, I will actually.
You'll say yes.
So he said yes. Disciples of Jesus taught all food is clean. All means, all you Christians, yeah, well done, Christian. All you guys, yeah, without exception. All means without exception. Yeah, that's what all means. Just as only means without exception, so does all. Yeah. Stan, what are you nonsensing at? What's your what are you saying is nonsense? Just 1 second. Just for this. point, I'm going to give you one opportunity to come and tell me why it's nonsense. Unless you're telling me he's talking nonsense. Are you coming to tell me he's talking nonsense? You said what sense? Okay. All right. So he's now said, oh, I see. All right. Sorry, Stan, forgive me. You're reprieved. Okay. So he's now admitted. You got to keep remembering this, yeah? So he said Paul taught all food is clean, and now he's just admitted that the disciples of Jesus taught all food is clean. Okay. Let's continue. No, don't worry, Ram. Don't worry, Ram. He's off the hook.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes, but you need to understand where I'm coming from.
How do you
So now he says yes, but now he's going to explain where he's coming from.
understand the word all?
As in, all food is clean, as in everything, basically.
Everything is clean.
Yeah.
So he's accepted now. All means everything, which means everything. Everything you can eat, cold food, is allowed. This is like, I can't believe I have to break it down because I know this guy's going to slip and slide.
So, just
Actually, do you know what? In fact, what I'm going to say, no, wait, hold on. What I'm going to say is they did not teach it's unclean, but I'll tell you why.
wasn't my question. I'll say it again. You said
Yeah.
Paul taught all, meaning everything,
Yeah.
to eat clean.
Yeah,
And then you've now said
yeah.
that the disciples of Jesus also taught all food is clean.
Okay.
Yes, again. So but he's doubled down now.
Right.
So we're not misquoting you.
No, but I need to make some clarifications. If I just say yes, then when I do say something later on, you're going to be like...
No. First, you make your claim,
Okay.
and then you can support your claim. Because your claim needs your burden of proof.
Right,
Yeah?
but there's a couple of things I need to understand from you.
Just one second. Humble servant, what are you doing?
You. So if I just start saying, yeah, you won't understand where I'm coming from. So that's why I asked you, even though I bring the pig thing up, there was a reason why I bring the pig thing up. Do you know why I bring it up?
The red herring.
Why is it a red herring?
Got nothing to do with the question.
But do you know why I bring it up?
A red herring. Got nothing to do with the question.
Wait, regardless if it's red herring and you think I'm changing something,
That's it.
do you know why I bring it up?
That's why I thought you bring it up. Is that not why you brought it
that's
up?
not-
And then I misunderstood why you brought it up.
Okay. I bring it up because I wanted to understand that you bring up the fact that pig is they did not have pig in their dietary list. You're gonna see where I'm coming with this towards the end, but you can't understand it. You keep making me jump. So that's why I'm asking you if pig was
Now here's your first problem.
right.
I've never mentioned dietary laws.
Okay. So what did you mention?
Oh my god.
I said, is all food clean or not?
Exactly. Is all food clean?
I said that. I didn't mention dietary law.
Okay. Well, I'm bringing it up because it still relates.
Yeah, but don't bring it up as if I said it, because I didn't.
Okay. Well, you did.
So don't ask me to give the definitions of the dietary laws, because I never brought it up.
You did say from last year. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did. What's called? You did from last time. You said that the dietary law. You said that pig was not included. You said that, but he didn't say that. I'm pretty sure you said that.
I said pig wasn't considered food.
Yeah, pig wasn't. That's what I meant.
Was pig considered food?
No, they didn't consider food. Well, I'm trying-
No, was pig considered food?
no,
Right, so I was right to say that, yes?
in a sense, yes.
Right, so
Why does he keep saying in a sense? What is this? He's always trying to hold on to this little thing just in case he's a trap. He's holding on to like the rope. Is pig considered food? No. In a sense. What does that mean?
so forget that then. So let's continue.
No, because
No?
There's a reason why I'm bringing it up. Listen, I
Now what you're doing is building a straw man.
how am I building this wrong?
All right, because you're building a case against dietary law, which I'm not mentioning.
Right. So what is your actual point?
Come on! So now he doesn't even understand my point. He's come to refute my point, and he doesn't even know my point. This is embarrassing.
My point is this. Paul taught all food is clean.
Right.
The disciples taught all food is not clean.
Right.
Contradiction.
Okay.
You think Paul taught all food is clean, and now you think the disciples taught all food is also clean.
Right. Okay. Because you're not.
So now you have contradicted your own Bible.
No.
Yes.
You're not understanding. You're not allowing me to speak on the first part of the vision of Peter.
No. The vision of Peter will come. All right.
I'm starting with it because it's the first.
All right.
thing.
Start with it. Tell me about the vision of Peter.
No, it's not about.
What's the point of the vision of Peter? What do you think you're going to prove with the vision of Peter?
My point is, you bring up a claim saying that they did not see pig as food, basically.
Right.
And I'm trying.
And you agree with that?
Yes.
Good. Carry on then.
But
To what extent?
Listen, so I can speak. So I'm asking you, what other foods did they?
Don't know. I'm not a Jew. No idea.
Okay, so you don't know. Simple as. That's what I'm.
There you go. What's your point?
Okay. Now my next point is we're gonna go to the next part of Acts. You said to me that. Wait, hold on, let me just get the verse. That the disciples did not believe all foods was clean. Now I want to know, even though you said this, I want you to repeat why you said that, so I don't misinterpret you.
All right. First of all, before I produce the burden of proof for my claim, do you accept my claim?
What?
That the disciples did not consider all food clean?
No, I don't.
You don't accept that?
No.
Okay. Did the disciples consider...
Right, so he's just now, for the third time, he said that he doesn't accept all food. That the disciples of Jesus did not consider all food unclean, basically. Yeah. So basically, he's holding to his position that the disciples of Jesus taught that all food was clean.
Consider food containing blood is clean?
No, they don't actually go into why it's not clean. Actually,
Do they consider eating an animal with blood is not clean?
I'm gonna say no, but you.
All right, let me rephrase. Did the disciples prohibit the eating of animals containing blood?
Yeah, they did prohibit it.
They did. Why?
Because they were speaking to the Gentiles who were new to it. They were, Okay.
Did they? Why did it? Blood? What does God say about blood? Life is in the blood.
Hold on. Let me.
No one is cursed who eats the blood.
Let me get you the verse. It's in anyone can look into this. It's in Acts 15:19. It says, "It is my judgment, therefore that."
Whose judgment?
It's through what Peter was saying, through God, basically.
Whose judgment is it? James's judgment.
Right.
James's judgment.
It is my judgment, therefore, that we should not make it difficult for the Gentiles who are turning to God, basically. So,
what are they going to do that not make it difficult for them?
it's talking about blood. It's talking about sacrifices of idols.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'll tell you why it's not.
Why?
They said we won't make it difficult for the Gentiles, so they don't need to be circumcised. But they must avoid animals, sacrificed to idols, strangled animals, and animals containing blood.
Right. Okay.
And sexual immorality.
Okay. What verse is that? What verse is that?
He's gone away to do his research, and he's asking me, where do the disciples teach these things?
It's Acts 25, I think. 1 second.
Acts 20. Are you talking about Acts 21?
Maybe. Acts 21:15, maybe. I'll 1 second. We got the Bible there.
Right. There's two verses to do with it. I'm talking about the first verse. I'm familiar.
Acts 15 is Council of Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So what did they teach at the Council of Jerusalem?
They were talking about. They went out.
Remember the point that's being made, yeah? Just so you don't lose track of this. The point being made is I'm saying that Paul was teaching that all food is clean based upon the fact that they no longer need to keep the law as Jews. Yeah, I'm saying, but I'm saying that the disciples of Jesus didn't believe all food was clean, and there was exceptions to this rule for Gentiles as to what food was clean and what was unclean. His position was 3 times that the disciples were teaching the same as Paul, that food is clean, eat what you like. Now we're going to discover these exceptions. So once you discover these exceptions, you'll find that once you find these exceptions, then you'll realize that in the Gospel of Mark, where Jesus thus made foods all clean, Jesus didn't make all foods clean. It's a very simple point.
What was the purpose of the Council of Jerusalem initially? Let's start with that.
They were telling the Jews about the miracles and what had happened when they were going around healing people.
Who was? Who was telling them?
The name of Jesus. It was.
Who was?
It was Peter, and I think it was also. Yeah, Paul was also talking about it.
All right. Do you not know your Bible?
Yeah, I do know it.
All right. Let me ask this question again then. Okay. Why was the Council of Jerusalem convened?
Because of the Jews, they wanted it.
What?
Well, actually, I don't know the actual full reason why, but it's not the most important reason.
Why was it convened? You don't know?
No, I don't know.
All right. So there's something else you don't know now. Okay.
Okay. Let's just put things in perspective. Okay. So this is Acts 15, what we're referring to, because you need to remember this for the end. Okay. So you need to remember this for the end. Okay. Just so you know, I'm reporting every time that thing comes up. I'm reporting it. So eventually YouTube will get onto it. All right, and check the IP down or whatever. All right. Okay. So this is the Jerusalem Council. So I'm going to read this now. Now get your pens and papers out and understand why the council was convened. Because at the end, he's going to deny this. Okay. The Jerusalem Council. But some men came down from Judea and were teaching the brothers. Now remember, this is apparently Paul. Sorry, this is Luke reporting about what was going on in the churches where Paul was preaching. Yeah. So some men came from Judea and were teaching the brothers, unless you are circumcised according to the customs of Moses, you cannot be saved. So these Jews came from Judea, and they were telling converts to Christianity that they have to be circumcised to be saved. Okay. And after Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and debate with them, Paul and Barnabas and some of the others were appointed to go up to Jerusalem to the apostles and the elders about this question. Okay. Why was the Council of Jerusalem convened? Because do these people who are converting from the Gentiles, do they need to be circumcised? I'll read it again one more time. Yeah. But some men came from Judea and were teaching the brothers, unless you were circumcised according to the custom of Moses, you cannot be saved. And after Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and debate with them, Paul and Barnabas and some of the others were appointed to go up to Jerusalem to the apostles and elders about this question. So, being sent on their way by the church, they passed through both Phoenicia and Samaria, describing in detail the conversion of the Gentiles and brought great joy to all the brothers. When they came to Jerusalem, they were welcomed by the church and the apostles and the elders, and they declared all that God had done with them. But some believers who belonged to the party of the Pharisees rose up and said, it is necessary to circumcise them and to order them to keep the laws of Moses. The apostles and the elders were gathered together to consider this matter. And after there had been much debate, Peter stood up and said to them, brothers, you know that in the early days God made a choice among you, that by my mouth the Gentiles should hear the word of the gospel and believe. And God, who knows the heart, bore witness to them by giving them the Holy Spirit, just as he did to us, and he made no distinction between us and them, having cleansed their hearts by faith. Now therefore, why are you putting God to the test by placing a yoke on the neck of the disciples that neither our fathers nor we have been able to bear? But we believe that we'll be saved through the grace of the Lord Jesus, just as they will. And all the assembly fell silent, and they listened to Barnabas and Paul as they related what signs and wonders God had done through them among the Gentiles. After they finished speaking, James replied, brothers, listen to me. Simeon has related how good first visitors, Simon, which is Peter, has visited the Gentiles to take them from a people for the name. And with this words of the prophets agree, just as it is written, after this I will return, I will build the tent of David that has fallen, I will build it as ruins, and I will restore it. Therefore, my judgment is that we should not trouble those of the Gentiles who turn to God, but should write to them to abstain from the things polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, and from what has been strangled, and from blood. And from ancient generations, Moses had in every city those who proclaim him, for he is read every Sabbath in the synagogues. Okay. So what James is saying here, So why was the council convened? Because Jews were telling Gentiles that they have to be circumcised to be Christians, basically. And when they've come to the Council of Jerusalem, the question's being asked, do they or don't they? Do they need to be circumcised? Do they need to keep the Mosaic law? Okay. And the response was, they don't need to be circumcised. They don't need to keep the Mosaic law, but they do need to abstain from animal sacrifice to an idol. They do need to abstain from the blood of an animal. They do have to abstain from a strangled animal, and they do have to abstain from sexual immorality. Okay, so this is the position. The reason the council was convened was because Jews were telling Christian Gentiles that they needed to be circumcised, and there was a dispute amongst the Jews and Paul and Barnabas. So they went to Jerusalem. I have to keep deleting this flipping. They went to do me a favor, Moz, just leave it to me, and because I need to report them. And can I still report them? Oh, I can still report them, don't worry. So the reason it was done was to determine whether Gentiles needed to be circumcised, which was causing them a problem, which was worrying them, which was concerning. They had to be circumcised. Yeah. So this is what the council was convened for. This is what the response given was. Job done. So we know the foundations now. Yeah. All right. So I don't think I explain it in the actual video.
The reason the council was convened, because Paul was teaching, don't worry about the dietary laws, don't worry about circumcision anymore. Yeah?
Right, okay.
And the disciples in Jerusalem sent people.
Actually, let me just do something while we're, because they keep coming with a new account. So what we'll have to do, which we don't mind doing, we'll make it so you have to be a subscriber for 15 minutes before you can comment. So at least we'll get 15-minute break from them. 20 minutes, why not? All right, so you can't comment now unless you're a subscriber for 20 minutes. That will stop them coming back for a while.
To see whether this is what Paul was teaching. When they discover Paul was
Be careful, Rob.
teaching this.
No, you're confusing.
Should I say Stan?
You're confusing the second part. I'm talking about the first part. You
What?
You're confusing. I'm talking about Acts. I'm talking about Acts 15, 19,
Yeah, Acts 15 is what I've just read.
where even Peter and the rest of the disciples all agreed.
Emmanuel.
You're confusing.
Emmanuel.
Well,
You are in the meeting. I'm telling you why the meeting was put together.
okay.
Right? So I'm not confusing nothing. I'm giving you the narrative.
Okay, let's see how in the chat you've been paying attention. Why was the Council of Jerusalem convened, people? Just so we know. And what was the concern for those people that was alleviated at the Council of Jerusalem? Let's just see who's paying attention. No, not the Abrahamic covenant. It kind of. It's circumcision. Circumcision was the problem. No, other way around, Neil. Other way around. It wasn't Paul teaching that circumcision dietary laws don't need to be involved by the Gentiles. It's that Jews were telling Gentiles they need to be circumcised. It's the opposite. So Jews were coming to tell Paul they need to be circumcised. Paul's contesting it. So the dietary law, shut up, flipping heck. All right, Paul's contesting it. They go to Jerusalem for a decision, and basically Paul wins out. At the Council of Jerusalem, I think I need to put slow mode on as well. Sorry, guys, that'll slow them down as well. And I don't understand how they've subscribed with all these accounts. What's Vigilant Stranger doing now? Oh, I see. YouTube blocked it. Blocked it, really? Anyway, slow mo's on now. So that was slowed down as well. Oh, I see. Oh, fair enough. I thought I'd remove them though. No. This is the best they've got. Just doing this filth. This is all they've got on them. So the way Paul won on that, because he was correct, that the Gentile converts to Christianity did not need to be circumcised like the Jews were claiming they did, nor did they need to keep the Mosaic law. Okay, Bushra, I know you and your armor here. So so that's how Paul was right, yeah, according to Luke. So Paul contested with the Jews that these Gentiles don't need to keep the Mosaic law, don't need to be circumcised. And the disciples agreed. All they had to do was keep those 3 dietary laws and don't be sexually immoral. So, which is fine. Which is fine. Small win for Paul. Problem with Paul, he was also teaching that to Jews. That was a problem. He didn't just stop with the Gentiles, he actually addressed that to Jews as well. So Paul didn't care about whether or not it was hardship for these Gentile converts. Paul just didn't believe that this law was a thing for anyone. So why should these Gentiles keep this law that he doesn't believe should be around for Jews, let alone converts? Yeah. So that was the reason it was convened. Circumcision. What did the disciples say was troubling them? What was troubling them? Circumcision, keeping the law. The disciples said, "You don't worry, you don't need to do those things." Okay. The reason I'm doing this now because I'm preempting what this guy's going to do, because he's a proper slippy snake.
As to why there was a meeting in the first place. Because if this wasn't happening here, there would be no meeting.
Right, okay.
Do you understand that?
No, because I do not understand it.
All right. Well, no.
So wait, is this from Acts 15?
Shall I just read Acts 15?
Go on.
All right. Now, Emanuel here claims he understands the scripture, but clearly doesn't. I've just told him in Acts 15 that Paul was teaching something other than what the disciples were teaching. And the disciples sent people to inquire as to why they were doing what they were doing. And they brought them to the temple in Jerusalem, and the Council of Jerusalem was convened to decide.
Actually, I was wrong. I think I've misread the situation at this point, because Paul wasn't teaching something that the disciples had heard and wanted to challenge him on. It was, I've just explained what it was. It was the Jews who were challenging Paul, and it was they came to Jerusalem to get a solution to their dispute. So I've conflated this with the other thing where he was teaching this to Jews, which, to be honest with you, it may be the same visit. Let me just check that out. How many times did Paul go to Jerusalem? Acts says 5 times. Paul says 3 times. So it's a contradiction. Paul says 3 times, Acts says 5 times. Anyway, so the point I'm making is I've conflated this particular point with the Acts 21, where Paul was teaching Jews they're not going to keep the law. And I think I conflated this here. So I think I was wrong here.
What should happen to new converts to this Christianity who were Gentiles?
I was right about that, but not a dispute at this point.
Should they be restricted? Should they be circumcised? Should they have dietary law put on them? Should they keep the laws of the Jews? What should we do with them? So this council was convened to understand what we do with these people. So for example, Emanuel would have been one of these people that the disciples of Jesus was talking about. All right. But just so you do know, I just made that narrative up. We'll read from the scripture. So then he can't deny it.
Hold on, one last thing.
Let me read from the scripture first.
Before you do, let me just ask
I hope I'm not building on my error.
one thing. Do the disciples go against Paul on what he said?
Yes.
Do they?
Yes.
Do they convict him what Paul does?
What are you on about?
Do they convict Paul on what he does?
Yes.
And what do they say?
Okay. Can we just stay on point initially?
See, because we're conflating two incidents here, and I think that's what he's doing. But we'll see.
It is
Inshallah. Yeah, we'll just let me read this verse, let him contemplate. I'm going to go pray, then we'll return, yeah? All right. So that narrative I just gave you about Paul preaching this and that, and the disciples teaching someone to inquire and convening the council to see what to do with the Gentiles, just so you know it's not a made-up narrative, I'll give it you from the scripture, which you can't deny. Okay. And certain men came down from Judea and taught the brethren, unless you are circumcised according to the custom of Moses, you cannot be saved. Therefore, when Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and dispute with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain others of them should go to Jerusalem, to the apostles and the elders about this question. So being sent on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenicia and Samaria, describing the conversion of the Gentiles, and they caused great joy to all the brethren. And when they come to Jerusalem, they were received by the church and the apostles and the elders, and they reported all things that God had done with them. But some of the sect of the Pharisees who believed rose up, saying, it is necessary to circumcise them and to command them to keep the law of Moses. So this now is the council now is convened in verse 6. Yeah? Why is the council convened? What do we do with these Gentile converts? Yeah?
right, yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
I was not against that.
I'm going to go pray.
You know, fixed. So anything I said last week, I wasn't sure of. You were just making me say things that I wasn't sure, so I just said yeah for the sake of yeah, or no for the sake of no.
Oh, Abbas looking like a stallion.
Here's a tip for you. Say, I don't know.
Okay.
Not everybody knows everything. If someone asks me about something I don't know about, I'll just say I don't know. But if you want me to, I'll go and research it, and then I'll come back. But luckily, alhamdulillah, here, there's not much that I've been asked really that I didn't really know about. Someone asked me earlier about the Quran only and the Hadith reliability, and that was a Muslim, yeah? So that was something a little bit not in my proper remit, yeah? So going back to what we're saying, so as we stand, just to reiterate, you believe the disciples didn't teach all food was clean, yeah? With a certainty now you believe that?
Yeah.
All right. And you believe with a certainty Paul taught the same?
Yeah.
So there's no contradiction?
No.
Okay.
But the disciples didn't. Okay, so I make this clear. The disciples did not say that, but I believe they were.
The disciples did not say what?
They did not say that. They did not say all foods are clean. Just so I'll tell you. I'll explain
Okay.
what I'm.
Right, so he believes the disciples taught all food is clean, but at the same time, he doesn't believe they said all food is clean. So,
That's what I mean by that. They did not say that all foods were clean, but they did not deny or go against it. The only time they showed to go against it was against the Gentiles, but they only made it easier for them. Now, Paul did not go against that statement, nor did Peter or the rest of the disciples. That's my point anyway.
Okay. So did the disciples prohibit the eating of food containing blood?
Yes, the Gentiles they did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did Paul?
Yeah, he did.
Really?
so Paul now so now, see, here's the thing you see. His original position was the disciples of Jesus believed all food is clean. Paul taught all food is clean. Now he's said the disciples taught eating blood is unclean, and so did Paul. So he's done a 180.
Yes and no, but I'll tell you, Paul's
He's so flipping. He's like smoke, this guy. You ask a question, yes or no, and he says yes and no. Yes and no. You ask him a yes or no question, his response is yes and no.
understanding was different, because with him it was more like you could eat anything you want, but if you read, I think it was in Corinthians, where he says that if a certain food causes your brother to sin, it's better he would not eat it.
Did Paul
Yeah.
prohibit the eating of blood in an animal?
He doesn't say blood, no.
Does he prohibit it?
No, because it's not mentioned.
Does he prohibit the eating of any animal?
No, he doesn't mention.
Right. Do the disciples prohibit the eating of blood in an
You
animal?
need to understand from the understanding, they will talk, this is the thing, it's not clear, it doesn't tell you every single thing about what you should and what you should.
Did they prohibit it?
What? Prohibit what?
Eating the animal with blood in?
Yes, they did, yeah.
Right. And is the animal with blood in an animal?
Yes.
And is it food?
Yes, of course.
Is it clean?
To their standards, no.
Right. So did the disciples teach all food is clean or not?
No, they didn't, but like I said...
We just said they did.
So no, they don't consider all foods clean, but he said earlier that they did. So let's not lose track of this. We're not going to lose track of the smoke. We're going to put the genie in the bottle.
Because, look, if I go by your standards and I say...
My standard? Why my standard?
Because you are... Because if I was to speak, you don't want me to speak. But when you speak, I have to say yes, no. So it's going to sound... Your way is going to sound right. And I'm trying to explain myself, saying, no, it's not like that. You're taking it out of context.
Okay. I'm going to say it again. The word all.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to break this.
You know you're automatically doing what you're doing.
Yes.
So you have to let...
Doing what?
You have to let me speak.
Well, no. Look, you're clearly not understanding my question.
I get...
Because you're clearly not understanding my question.
I get what
Because you're saying, oh, you don't understand. All right? So let's clarify my question.
I fully didn't say that, but anyway.
You just did.
I said that in a sense where you don't understand me, so I'm trying to get you to
All right.
understand me.
Do you understand the word?
Do you understand what I said, actually?
No.
There we go. That's my point.
Why don't I understand what you said?
Because you're not letting me speak.
I'll tell you why I don't understand what you said.
Because you're not letting me speak.
I'll tell you. Because in your scripture, it doesn't say what you say.
Right, okay.
And I don't care what you say, I care what your scripture says.
Right, okay, cool. But I'm trying to tell you what my scripture says, but you're not allowing me to speak. So can I speak and tell you?
Okay. Now, do you not think this is a contradiction? You say the disciples didn't declare any food unclean.
Right.
Yeah? And then you said, but they prohibited food with blood in it.
Right.
Right? So, they either prohibited it or not.
Right, did I say they allowed blood?
No, did they allow blood?
No, they didn't allow blood.
Right, so if there's meat with blood in it, did they allow it?
No, they didn't allow it.
Why not?
Because this is based on the Gentiles.
Why did they not allow it?
Because it will be, because they could fall into sin and temptation, basically.
Is that what where's the verse? I'm sick of you making this up. Anyone got a Bible?
I'm making this up.
Yes.
It's a very clear point. He said the disciples declared all food clean and taught all food is clean. And we have a prime example where the disciples say, well, actually, don't eat this, and don't eat this. Now, if the disciples of Jesus are teaching don't eat this, and don't eat this, they're not teaching all food is clean. I mean, I just don't get it. I just don't understand. One second. I think I do understand it. There's a mental in Speaker's Corner.
Mental? Have you seen?
I swear, it's like the local mental hospital has a day trip every Sunday, and the coach piles up, and Hatoum gets on it, and Asif gets on it, and Captain Bloodfire gets on it, and Kay gets on it, and Soko gets on it, and they bring it to Hyde Park, and they all pile off. They spend the day at Speaker's Corner, go for a meal later, and then it's back to the hospital because they're all mental.
Why would I make it
Well,
up?
I'm going to tell you, because you're making it up.
What's my intent on making it up? I don't understand.
I'll tell you why.
What do I gain
Because
by making
it's
it
a very clear question. Can I eat this Big Mac? Is the blood in it? Yeah. Well, no, sorry, you can't eat it, according to the disciples of Jesus.
Why did they tell the Gentiles not to eat those certain foods?
The point that's being made is not why they can't eat it. It's the fact that they said they can't eat it. And this is the thing, and this is the problem. The reason why doesn't matter. Did they say they can't eat it? Yes or no? If they said they can't eat it, then they themselves do not believe all food is clean, like you claimed at the beginning of the stream. It doesn't matter why. And this is what you call a red herring, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you're trying to divert to something which avoids the particular argument we're discussing.
Not eat blood. Because the dietary laws have existed since the time of Moses.
Blood, but I'm also talking about that.
No, I'm talking about Big Mac, mate.
Wait, look. It says 3 things, by the way. Don't just talk about one thing without the other.
Blood, sacrificed animal strangled, and sexual immorality. 4 things, not 3 things. 4 things. Okay. And the 3 things with regards to food. What? You can't eat food with blood in it. So you can't have a Big Mac, right? So forget that. Okay. You can't eat any animal sacrificed to an idol. So you can't eat that. You can't eat any animal that has been strangled. You can't eat that. So there are 3 prohibitions on food. Paul does not have those 3 prohibitions. Now you're now saying the disciples who prohibit these 3 things didn't consider any food unclean.
And I asked you, did the disciples go against Paul?
Yes.
What did they say? What did they say?
Well, Paul. Who's the authority? The disciples or Paul? Who's the authority?
Listen, I asked you. What did say?
You said, did the disciples go against Paul? It doesn't work that way.
Why doesn't it work that way?
Because the disciples are the authority.
Right. Okay.
Because they walk with Jesus.
But that doesn't make sense. So the disciples did not say anything to Paul.
Who's the authority? Who has the bigger authority? Disciples or Paul?
I think God will have the fullest authority.
Who has the biggest authority?
No.
God is not the choice here.
Hold on. I agree they're both saying the same thing.
Who has the most authority? Disciples or Paul?
You would say the disciples, yes.
No. I'm not. I would say. I'm asking you.
That's what.
Right.
And it's the same sickness. Cannot answer a direct question. It's direct. Who is the authority? Jesus or Paul? Sorry, disciples of Jesus or Paul? Just answer them. If you want to answer them that they've got the same authority, fine. What if there's a dispute between them? Who has the deciding vote? It's a madness.
So look, if I ask you a question, just answer the question.
Yeah.
Who had the most authority? Disciples or Paul?
The disciples have
So who is the standard?
the disciples.
So who has to match who?
The disciples.
So why are you asking me, did the disciples match Paul?
Because I'm trying to. That's not my point. Is
Here's the question.
No, let me-
Did Paul contradict the disciples?
Okay,
Because they're the standard.
Hold on. It doesn't matter if they contradict.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Listen, I'll tell you why.
Who's they?
I'll tell you why.
Who's they?
Listen, let me speak. I will tell you why. The reason is because if there's a contradiction, yet the disciples say nothing against Paul, does that make sense?
Look.
Does that make sense? Now answer the question. Does that make sense?
All right. Shall I answer the question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did they accuse Paul of doing this?
Did they accuse Paul of doing this?
Yes.
I can't fully remember. I don't think they did.
All right. So why did he take the Nazarite vow?
So this is where the conflation may have come in. And remember, I'm be honest with you, I'm in the infancy of I think this particular argument. It's a new argument that I've been building. So at this time, I've conflated 2 things. One, these Gentiles who are worried about having to keep the Mosaic law, and 2, the activities of Paul, which the disciples have heard and concerned about. I think I may have conflated both. May have. I think I might have. But at the same time, if Paul is teaching eat what you like in the meat market without fear of conscience, then he's not deeming food unclean. But like I said, I may have conflated 2 things here.
It was but that had nothing to.
Which, to be honest with you, this is why I like doing these reactions, because I'm not always right in everything. And if I recognize I've said something that is not right, I'll correct it. Never see a Christian doing this, by the way.
Why did he take the Nazarite vow?
Hold on. That had nothing to do with.
Why did he take the Nazarite vow?
Because of the Jews, they did not want to go against Paul, because of the way the Jews would react basically.
Why? What are they reacting about? Why are the Jews going to react so badly against Paul?
Because Paul obviously did certain things that the Jews did not.
What was that?
It was to do with the teachings of Moses, and he was going against.
Teaching of what?
The teachings of Moses.
With regards what? Anything to do with food?
No, it had nothing to do.
Nothing.
No, because if you actually read the verse, no, I'm telling you. Why are you laughing? I'm actually right on that. If you actually look at the verse, it says it afterwards. It has nothing to do with the verse. It was to do with circumcision, and it was to do with the fact that he did not go with Moses' law and everything what Moses did.
Okay.
So.
Because Paul was teaching against the laws of Moses, yes?
Right. Yeah.
Against the law.
Right. Yeah.
What's the problem with that if Jesus finished the law? What's the problem?
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Jesus finished.
If Paul is teaching against the law,
Yeah.
what's the problem?
There is no testament.
Well, the disciples thought there was, so we had to retake the Nazarite vow.
Right. Okay.
So why is Paul
No,
teaching?
This is based on the fact that the Jews would act.
Is Paul teaching against the law?
Let me finish because I'm trying to remember. This is what the Jews would react badly. So
Why would the Jews react badly?
One second. Read Acts 15. Peter is saying the yoke of the law is not salvific for Jews or pagans. We believe it is through the grace of the Lord Jesus that we Jews are saved, just as they are. Right, so remind me what happened in Acts 21. Oh no. I just fast forward.
nothing to do with
Why did he take the Nazarite vow?
Hold on, that had nothing to do with
Why did he take the Nazarite vow?
because of the Jews. They did not want to go against Paul because of the way the Jews would react basically.
Why? What are they reacting about? Why are the Jews going to react so badly against Paul?
Because Paul obviously did certain things that the Jews did not.
What was that?
It was to do with the teachings of Moses, and he was going against
Teaching of what?
the teachings of Moses.
With regards what? Anything to do with food?
No, it had nothing to do.
Nothing.
No, because if you actually read the verse, no, I'm telling you. Why are you laughing? I'm actually right on that. If you
The reason I'm
actually-
laughing
afterwards, it has
is
nothing to do
because
with,
the Mosaic law includes
and
dietary
it was to
law.
do with the fact that he did not go with Moses' law and everything what Moses did.
Okay. Because Paul was teaching against the laws of Moses, yes?
Right, yeah.
Against the law.
Right. Yeah.
What's the problem with that if Jesus finished the law? What's the problem?
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Jesus finished.
If Paul is teaching against the law,
Yeah.
what's the problem?
There is no problem.
Well, the disciples thought there was, so we had to retake the Nazarite vow.
Right. Okay.
So why is Paul
No,
teaching?
This is based on the fact that the Jews would act.
Is Paul teaching against the law?
Let me finish because I'm trying to remember. This is what the Jews would react badly. So
Why would the Jews react badly?
trust me, I'm going to explain to you. This is because the Jews would act badly, and at the same time, I actually forgot what I was going to say. Legit forgot what I was going to say. I put it on my phone, so I'm just going to check.
I'll make it easy for you while you're looking on your phone. Okay.
Okay, so Roman Catholic Monday is saying, until the temple was destroyed in 70 AD, the Jews still followed the ceremonial laws as a matter of religious practice, but it was not salvific anymore. Again, that doesn't explain Acts 21, where the disciples of Jesus says, we've heard you, Paul, are teaching that Jews are no longer justified by the law, to show this isn't true. So it shows no truth in these sayings about you. Go take the Nazarite vow to show you're still obedient to the law. So that response to me telling you to go read Acts 21 doesn't really help you.
We've established who is the standard here. The disciples of Jesus or Paul? Once we establish the disciples of Jesus are the authority, then it's not about the disciples contradicting Paul, it's whether or not Paul contradicted the disciples. Now the disciples prohibited 3 types of meat. Paul contradicted that by declaring all food is clean.
Right, okay.
Now you said the disciples didn't prohibit meat. Now they either did or they didn't. So now you're going to take that back or you're going to stand by that?
No, I'm going to stand by what...
You're going to stand by the fact that even though the disciples said don't eat food with blood in it, they still said you can eat any food. You're going to stand by that? Really?
No, I'm not saying that. I told you the disciples do not say anything about food other than to the Gentiles saying that they shouldn't because it would be too difficult for them.
Right. I mean, which part is this? You cannot have disciples of Jesus teaching all food is clean and then have the disciples of Jesus teaching these foods are not clean. You can't have both. Either all foods are clean or not all food is clean. You can't have both. Now, he's trying to have both. You can't give me reasons why they said this food is unclean. It's irrelevant as to why they said this food is unclean. The fact of the matter is it's unclean. And if it's unclean, they weren't teaching all food is clean. I mean, come on.
It's simple as. I don't.
Are you a Gentile?
Am I a Gentile? Yes, I would.
Right, so what did the disciples say to you?
This is.
What did the disciples say about you?
This was based on the early Gentiles.
When did it change?
I don't know when it.
Right. No, it didn't change.
No, but it's pretty obvious.
It was decreed. It was issued in letters around all the churches. So you as a Gentile, yeah, you should follow what the disciples taught, right? But you are following what Paul taught.
Right, okay.
It's not the same. If you followed what the disciples taught, listen, if you follow what the disciples taught, you wouldn't eat a Big Mac.
It's kind of based on interpretation, slightly, because I'm trying to tell you, it's very obvious by looking at the passage, they were talking about...
Why is it based on interpretation? Is he going to try to explain to me again why they prohibited this particular food?
Those certain types of Greeks or Gentiles who could not go by the law. You're basing it on, well, it must be them, and it must be all the way to us right now. That's how you base it.
No.
So now what he's doing, and I don't know why now, he's trying to justify his Big Mac. So what he's trying to do now is say, yeah, they did say this to Christians at the time, to Gentiles at the time, but you're just assuming it also includes us now. And then, and my response to that is, when did it change?
I've based it on a teaching of the disciples of Jesus that they were not under the impression all food has been made clean.
But it's pretty funny because you still haven't told me till right now that the disciples have not gone against Paul, have not saying that Paul, you've done wrong. The only people who've gone against Paul is the Jews. The Jews are the only people who have gone against Paul and wanted to even kill him.
Did the disciples read Paul's letters?
The disciples read Paul's letters? I don't know about that.
So how would they know what Paul's doing?
What do you mean how would they? They're with Paul all the time.
What? Oh!
Well, not all.
Whoa! No! It's out there now. It's out there.
So yeah, it's out there. But don't.
What do you mean all the time?
Wait, hold on. Don't confuse my words.
I'm not going to confuse your words. I'm going to make you explain your words.
Yeah, good.
What's all the time mean?
They were with him at certain times.
No. He said all the time.
Kate, my demeanor hasn't changed throughout the whole conversation. I don't know why you're saying I get agitated at a particular point. Been agitated from the beginning. Because this guy is just so slippy.
Okay, that's why I said don't confuse my words.
I can't confuse all the time. You confuse the words.
All right, so I made a mistake.
All right. So let's retract that. Yeah. So again, when were the disciples with Paul?
When were the disciples with Paul?
Yeah.
I don't know from what time to what time.
How many times did they meet? In 13 years.
Oh, I don't know.
Twice.
Let me just check that. I'm not. I don't know if that was true. How many times did Paul meet the disciples of Jesus? Let's say that. I mean, the disciples, I think in Jerusalem, he just met them once. I think it was the one time. So I think it was all the same conversation.
Twice.
Okay.
Why did they meet at all? Because Paul was preaching something that he was summoned to Jerusalem by the leaders of the church, by James, by John, by Peter, to ask him, what are you doing?
Right, okay. But what I don't understand is...
So let me say it again. James, John, Peter, disciples of Jesus, walked with him, sat with him, ate with him, watched his miracles, heard his teachings.
Yeah.
They know what Jesus taught.
Okay.
Paul rode to Damascus, had a vision, didn't know what Jesus looked like, didn't know what Jesus sounded like, but thought it was Jesus. Starts preaching, yeah? He starts preaching something that goes against what the disciples are teaching. Okay. The disciples call Paul and say, what are you doing? Why are you teaching this? Right? Okay, cool. What you should do to show the people you're not teaching this is retake the Nazirite vow.
Again, I've conflated the two events. So I'm talking, and I've moved on from food to Paul teaching something contrary to the disciples of Jesus. And I've conflated the two, Acts 21 and Acts 15. Still on point, but it's kind of off point.
Okay.
So they were saying to Paul, what you're teaching is wrong, and just to show these Jews you're not teaching that, go and do this, and then they'll know that you're back with them.
Right, so that's all bang on. That's all good.
So let me ask you something. So even through Paul's experiences, you're telling me that. Actually, no, you're not telling me that because I know how you are. Do you? No.
What's that supposed to mean?
No, because it means when I automatically say something. And what I'm trying to understand is, do you believe that Paul had an experience with God? That's what I want to know.
No,
So what was that experience?
the devil, demons, Satan.
If he had an experience, I'm doubting the experience now, but if it was an experience that he did have some supernatural event, 100% it was demonic.
Whatever.
So you think Satan
Yeah, definitely.
deceived and...
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Really?
Unequivocally, yes.
Really?
If there was an event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask me why.
That makes me... Okay, go on. Why, actually?
Because if Paul had a vision of Jesus, he would be teaching what Jesus taught.
Okay.
And this is what we're proving, he wasn't teaching what Jesus taught.
Okay. So...
It's a kind of Jesus canon.
So what's the biggest contradiction you have with Paul, or what's the biggest contradiction?
Did he just ask me? Did he just ask me what I just think he just asked me after how long? What's the biggest contradiction you have with Paul? This guy thinks out loud. He just asked me now, what's the biggest contradiction that I have with Paul and the disciples of Jesus? Well, we've just been quoting it.
That you're not covered by the law anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. That you can eat what you like. Yeah. That it's not by your works you shall be judged, but by your faith.
Makes me... But this is the thing that doesn't make sense to me.
Why doesn't that... Okay.
What doesn't make sense to him?
No, what you said, I'm not talking about that. What doesn't make sense to me is the fact that if Paul did such wrongness, like if Paul did what he did was so wrong, why haven't the disciples realized that he's a false prophet? He's trying to cause, division against us. What he's doing is not God-like, Christ-like. But you don't get any of that.
We don't get any of that, except we get the disciples of Jesus to get in Paul to take a Nazirite vow to prove he's still under the law and he's not teaching what they've heard he's been teaching. I mean, come on.
They met him twice.
Yes, but even on the second time, if
Okay.
no, they met him twice, but we're talking about God.
Let's talk about the times he met.
Okay.
Let's talk about the times he met.
Okay,
Listen.
Can I just say something first?
Go on.
We'll talk about the times he met. I'm just saying that if this is God.
We can't, this is what Michael King says, we can't eat what we like. I'm a Christian and I don't eat pork or shellfish. Okay, can you eat a chicken leg that's been sacrificed from a chicken that's been sacrificed to an idol? Let's just deal with Michael. Michael, chicken, nice juicy chicken, but a Hindu just sacrificed it to Ramesh. Okay, and he makes you a nice chicken and chips with it. Can you eat it? A simple yes or no will suffice, Michael. Well, let me rephrase that. Are you allowed to eat it? Are you allowed to eat it, Michael? So we interrupt this broadcast for a public service announcement. Michael, are you allowed to eat this chicken and chips made from a chicken that's just been sacrificed to Ramesh? No, you think he's agreeing with me. Oh, sorry. It's question marks, not exclamation marks. So is he questioning? Okay, my God, see, this is the mode I get in. So just so I understand, Michael, are you questioning the idea that you can eat anything and the fact that you don't eat pork or shellfish is because it's prohibited for you? He's got to wait 60 seconds, isn't it, to comment? No, there's a difference between not eating, choosing not to eat, and not permissible to eat it. I want to understand Michael's position. But I may have misunderstood his position. Right, anyway, let's continue.
Talking about, then God would confirm to them that Paul is a a false teacher, stay away from them, or blah blah. Either one thing or the other.
Look, it's very, very simple. There was many false teachers, we know this.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, if you read the book of Revelations, we know there was somebody doing the works of Balaam. Yes?
Right.
You know who Balaam was?
Yeah.
What did Balaam teach?
I do not know what to, but I know who he is.
Well, Balaam taught you could eat what you like. There's no food law.
Okay.
So you got Balaam, who was teaching eat what you like and be sexually immoral. Yeah? Balaam was teaching this.
Right.
You are warned in Revelations that there's someone amongst you now who is doing what Balaam did. So who?
Oh, okay. I know about that, but
All right. So who now was teaching that you could eat what you like?
so you're saying that Balaam is basically.
No, I'm just asking a simple question.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to look into that. So.
Something else he needs to look into. Up. I'm saying we can't eat what we like at all. Well done, Michael. So you don't believe that all food was clean. So you disagree with this particular Christian. That's cool. All right.
Yeah, that's for next time. That's for round 3, no problem. Okay. So, yeah. So let's go back to our main point. Disciples met twice. Why did they meet Paul twice?
Why did they meet Paul twice?
Yeah, what was the purpose of the meetings?
I don't know the
Right.
intention of it.
The purpose of the meeting was to question Paul's teachings.
Okay.
And even in the last one, yeah, they said to him, people around us have heard you're teaching people they're not under the law. Yeah? All right. According to Corinthians and all of these business, was Paul teaching that?
Galatians.
According to Corinthians. Yeah.
Was Paul teaching not under the law?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's accused of doing something he's doing. Right. What did the disciples say? To show these people you're not doing that, you need to go and take the Nazirite vow. Yeah?
Right, okay.
So what does that tell you? That tells you if you were teaching that, you're wrong. Yeah?
Right, okay.
Right. So this is empirical evidence that Paul was teaching something contrary to what Jesus taught. And if you're saying Paul was being guided by Jesus and he's doing things against what Jesus taught, he's not being guided by Jesus. And Paul had no way of quantifying who he was conversing with. He didn't know what Jesus looked like. He never knew what Jesus sounded like. He could have been anyone. Yeah, I'm Jesus. How does he know? He has no way. The only way we can know is through the
No, you
teachings.
have to be careful though, because
Careful in what way?
no, because in the sense that you're trying to say that because he didn't know what Jesus looked like, you're saying that it can't be Jesus.
No. It's
How
very,
do you-
no. I'm saying to you is this. If it was Jesus,
Yeah.
even if Paul couldn't recognize him, know his voice, whatever,
Yeah.
how would we know Paul was seeing Jesus?
Okay.
We would look at teachings. And if the teachings married up with the teachings of Jesus, then we can accept it's Jesus.
Okay.
Now here's the question. Why did Jesus choose 12 to walk with him? Yeah? And watch his miracles and teach him and all this. And then they're the ones who are leading the church, Peter, James, John, yeah? And then this guy Paul comes along, said, no, forget that. What I've had is from the Spirit, they've had it from flesh. Mine's not from flesh. And he's then preaching something contrary. He's challenged on it, that he's told he's wrong doing it. He's told to retake the Nazirite vow. And then the leaders of the church who knew Jesus' words proclaimed that any convert to Christianity from Gentile, yeah, which is you, abstain from food containing blood, abstain from any animal sacrificed to an idol, abstain from any strangled animal, abstain from sexual immorality. Right? Listen.
Yeah, right.
This was their teaching for you. Okay. Paul contradicts that teaching. Now, today, as a Christian, you follow Paul rather than Jesus,
Okay.
because the disciples are Jesus' representatives.
See, this is why I kept going back to the whole Peter thing where Peter had that.
Right, let's go to Peter.
Yeah, and I was trying to show that Peter had that experience, and then I was trying to also say that because of the Gentiles, they made that rule because they could not. If they said, "Oh, you could eat anything," they may go back to the whole pagan rules and blah blah. And I'm trying to say through that dream, they were allowed to eat anything.
We interrupt this broadcast to give an information announcement. Right. No, Acts 10, what he's referring to, he said Acts 10 was to show that they could eat anything. Acts 10 doesn't do that whatsoever. But you know me, I like to point things out, so we'll do it. Okay. So let's read it. This is Peter's vision. The next day, as they were on their journey and approaching the city, Peter went up on the housetop about the 6th hour to pray, and he became hungry and wanted something to eat. But while they were preparing it, he fell into a trance and saw the heavens opened and something like a great sheet descending, being let down by its four corners upon the earth. In it were all kinds of animals. Now listen to this. In it. Oh. All right. Should I do my glasses like this? The next day, as they were on their journey and approaching the city, Peter went up on the housetop about the 6th hour to pray, and he became hungry and wanted something to eat, but while they were preparing it, he fell into a trance and saw the heavens opened and something like a great sheet descending, being let down by its four corners upon the earth. In it were all kinds of animals and reptiles and birds of the air. And there came a voice to him, "Rise, Peter, kill and eat." But Peter said, "By no means, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean." And the voice came to him again a second time, "What God has made clean, do not call common." This happened 3 times, and the thing was taken up at once to heaven. Now while Peter was inwardly perplexed as to what the vision that he had seen might mean, behold, the men who were sent by Cornelius, having made inquiry for Simon's house, stood at the gate. Okay, so what did we read? We read that Peter had a vision, and a blanket came down, and it was full of all kinds of animals and reptiles and birds of the air. Okay, it wasn't a bag of pigs. Yeah, it wasn't a bag of pigs. It was a bag of all types of animals of the air. Now there could have been pigs in there, who knows? And Peter says that he's never eaten anything unclean. And what does God say? Why do you make unclean what God has made clean? Because what Peter's doing, he's thinking that things that get contaminated, because they had this idea Jews and Gentiles should never mix. And because there may have been an unclean animal with a clean animal, that would make the clean animal unclean also. But that's not what it's saying. God's saying, who told you that that makes something unclean? If it's clean, it's clean. That doesn't make it unclean. Your logic is flawed, mate. And this was a teaching, nothing to do with animals. It was to do with Peter to go and preach to the Gentiles, eat with the Gentiles. It wasn't what he just said, an indication that they can eat anything. It just meant you could eat at a Gentile's house.
But you're saying that.
No, you were trying to prove a point in that dream that God was saying to Peter, "You're mistaken. I've made all food clean." That's what you were trying to make in that point.
Okay.
So let's be honest here.
Okay, let me.
That's the point that's trying to be made with that.
I know the dream means that, and it also means something else. But
No. But the point is
what
that
you think on the dream.
It's so flaky. Oh, the dream means that, and it also means something else. No, it meant the other thing, nothing to do with food. How do we know this?
Actually, what do you believe the dream meant?
What do I think the dream's about?
Yeah. I'm just asking you. What do you think?
The dream's about telling Peter he can go and preach to the Gentiles.
Okay, that's what I also believe it is.
Well, but you didn't. No. But yes, that's the true interpretation. But you presented Peter, Acts 10, as some kind of proof that Peter was wrong to think food was unclean, which was wrong.
No, but I'm saying that it has 2 meanings to that. It's not only that he was supposed to go to the.
I'm dealing with the meaning with regards to unclean food.
Yes, but does it make wait? Hold on. Does it make sense? Because to me, then was it Simon? I can't remember who said this. Who should have said clearly that not to the Gentiles that he said it should be easier for them. That doesn't make sense. He shouldn't have said that. He should have said that the Gentiles should not be eating this food because it is wrong, basically. But that's not what happened.
What?
Sorry, let me get the verse so I don't just.
We've got the verse. We've got the Bible. We don't need technology. To be easier on them is.
Hamza, you're clueless. Stop teaching us Christianity. Somebody needs to. Christian, just so you can stay in the room and I don't kick you out, answer my question. Do you believe that the disciples taught all food is clean? I'll give you a minute to respond. Very simple question. Do you believe the disciples of Jesus taught all food is clean? Oh, dear me, this is so sad. Jesus abrogates dietary laws. No, the author of the Gospel of Mark abrogates dietary laws. The food the pagans eat, we are cool now. I'll say it again to you, Christian. Was all food considered clean by the disciples of Jesus or not? Were all foods declared clean by the disciples of Jesus? It's a yes or a no answer. Not a trick question. Either yes, the disciples of Jesus considered all food were clean, or no, the disciples of Jesus did not believe all food was clean. Very simple. We're gonna hold the proceedings just because Christians entered the chat. I just want to hear what Christian has to say. I mean, I don't know what that Roma geezer's on about. Dumb question has nothing to do with what is happening. You are lost. The whole bloody conversation is about this, mate. So I'm going to ask you one last time, or I'm going to have to kick you. Forgive me, man. And we'll see you again in a week. Well, actually, no, you'll have to change your profile. All right, so here we go. Last time I'm asking this question. Did the disciples of Jesus teach all food was clean? Yes or no? Jazakallah khair, Faisal. How you doing, bro? Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for your support. Yeah, you see that brackets? That's Mark's own idea. That's the author of Mark's misunderstanding. Anyway, I'll deal with you in a minute, Roma. All right, let's just deal with. So you're saying the disciples of Jesus did teach all food was clean, based upon what their master Jesus taught? Is that what you're saying? I think Roma's trying to say yes, they did. So we'll deal with Roma in a minute. Let's just do a Christian first. I think we're going to say goodbye to Christian. He's going to have to make a new profile. I'm pretty sure. If you don't answer. You could be right there, Bushra. Anyway, Christian is going to disappear very soon if he doesn't answer. Oh, I think it's time to go. All right, time to make a new profile. Let's continue.
Referring to the circumcision. It's not referring to the food.
So you're saying it's based on the circumcision?
Yes, to be easy on them, to make it easy for them. Yes.
From circumcision, they instead of getting circumcised, they can just not eat certain
No. Two questions. One, do they need to be circumcised, and do they need to keep the laws? No, they don't need to be circumcised. Yes, they need to keep the law.
Why don't they need to be circumcised?
To make it easy for them. Hard, isn't it?
Is that in the original thing? Where did they get?
No, I'm making it up.
No. I'm saying, where did they get the idea? Where did it?
I'm making it up. My own understanding.
I never said you. I said, where did the
The disciples?
Yeah, the
What?
disciples.
Where did the men who walked with Jesus and got taught by him and witnessed him and knew his understandings and teachers, where'd they get it from?
right? So you're just assuming they got it from Jesus. No, I'm just saying. Is that what you're assuming?
They understood Jesus.
No, but I'm saying, did Jesus say that you don't have to be circumcised on that?
Did Jesus say it?
Yeah.
Well, the disciples of Jesus represent that, are they?
Yeah, they are, but
Listen, circumcision is an
So what he's trying to do now, what he's trying to do now is act like the disciples got it wrong. They misunderstood. Yeah, that Jesus didn't teach this. Sorry, that Jesus. Actually, what is he saying? Is he saying? What is he saying? I have to say this back a minute. Let me just try to understand what he's saying.
no, I'm just saying. Is that what you're assuming?
They understood Jesus.
No, but I'm saying, did Jesus say that you don't have to be circumcised?
Did Jesus say you don't have to be circumcised? No. Jesus said you don't have to be circumcised. But Jesus never preached to Gentiles. He only preached to Jews, and Jews knew they had to be circumcised. The whole point in question is, do these new converts, these Gentiles, do they also need to be circumcised or not? The disciples of Jesus were confused by this. Never come across this before. I don't know. What should we do? What should we do about this? So what they did, they looked in history around Israel. What did the Gentiles live, the Goyim, when they lived around the Israelites, what laws did they have to keep? And they had to keep the Noahide laws. And that was basically, no, they don't have to keep the Mosaic laws because they're not Jews. They're not under the covenant. But they do have to abstain from the, animal sacrifice to an idol. They do have to abstain from strangled animals. They do have to abstain from drinking blood. And they do have to abstain from sexual immorality, because that was what they did back then. Yeah. Obviously, it's to remove idolatry, blood, drinking blood, sacrifices, eating the meat, sacrifices, and strangled must be something to do with that. So obviously, it's clearly to do with that. So the disciples of Jesus, why do you think there was a council? What should we do? I don't know. We've not come across this before. Did Jesus say anything about this? I don't think he did. Did Jesus ever tell us how to deal with the Gentiles? I don't think he did. What do we do? What do we do in this situation? Do they have to keep the Mosaic law? Yeah, but they're not Jews. Why would they keep the Mosaic law? They need to be circumcised. Yeah, but they're not under the covenant. Why would they need to be circumcised? What should we do? What should be the answer? I'm just imagining the Council of Jerusalem. You know what I'm thinking? I got an idea. Why don't we treat Gentile converts to Christianity like our forefathers treated non-Jews, around the Israelites, that they just have to keep these particular laws? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we've come to a conclusion. Yeah, that's it. Done. What? And what? No, Jesus never told them what to do, because Jesus never told them how to deal with Gentiles. Anyway, it is proper Monty Python moment, that.
Did Jesus say it?
Yeah.
Well, the disciples of Jesus represent that, are they?
Yeah, they are, but
listen, circumcision is an issue. I'll tell you why. Because Paul said they don't need to be circumcised, and so did the disciples. Ain't an issue, mate. We're not interested in that. I don't know, you keep bringing up this red herring. Yeah? Stick to food.
No, but it's a good question at the same time. No, we'll still stick to food, but it's a good question.
Just so you may have got lost like poor Christian did. The matter is a very simple one. According to the teachings of the disciples, was all food declared clean? The circumcision part only brings into the idea as to what food is considered unclean. Caused the council, convened the council, and the disciples said, no, can't do this, can't eat this, can't eat this. Yeah. So the answer to the question is a resounding no. Now, to try to run after circumcision like it's a point where the disciples agreed with Paul that Gentiles shouldn't be circumcised, it's a non-issue. It is, like I said, a red herring.
A red herring, mate.
Why is it a red herring?
It's got nothing to do with food.
No, but it makes me wonder why it's to do with circumcision. Basically, circumcision has a lot to do with this, and so does Moses' law. So I can also talk about that as much as the food dietary law. Now I'm asking about circumcision. Did Jesus go against circumcision, or are you just saying this? Or are you just assuming?
Listen, mate, I ain't a Christian, am I?
Okay, cool. But
Right. So all I could do is read the scripture, innit?
okay.
And if a disciple of Jesus come together as...
Do you know if it says that? Yes or no? Just simple as.
Yes, I know it says that.
So it says that. So Jesus says that.
All right.
No, I'm just.
No, Jesus never says to nobody not to circumcise like Paul teaches. Jesus didn't teach his disciples and didn't teach anyone who followed him not to be circumcised. No, Jesus didn't teach that. How do we know this? Because there's no teaching, there's no mention of Jesus teaching this. Yeah? So it's not for me to find you a verse where Jesus is saying, oh, keep being circumcised. It's for you to bring a verse to tell me where Jesus says, no longer need to be circumcised. Now I can bring you a verse from Paul, a letter from Paul, saying you don't need to be circumcised. But you'll never find that from Jesus. And he thinks he's got something here. He thinks he's got something here. It's mental.
For the purpose of the camera, I told him about the Council of Jerusalem and why it was convened. Why was it convened?
Okay.
It's getting annoying now. Why was it convened?
Hold on. We'll get to that in a second.
No. We get to it now.
No. We'll get to it.
No, we get to it now.
No, in a second.
Why a second?
Because I want to know that particular purpose. Do you know or not? If you don't know, just say you don't know.
Okay.
Just say it. And then we just go to the back to the council.
All right. Council of Jerusalem, containing the disciples of Jesus, coming together, making a decision, making ijma, yeah, making a consensus on what they should do with Gentile converts. Yeah?
I didn't answer that, by the way.
You said, did Jesus say that, they can't be circumcised, yeah?
Yeah.
No. The 12 disciples came together at a council and they had a meeting about it and they come to that conclusion. How they came to that conclusion, I have no idea.
Okay. So
Well, I do. I'll just give the idea.
the disciples did something that we have no idea if Jesus.
Maybe they got something from the teachings of Jesus. Maybe Jesus said to them, don't be harsh on the Gentiles. Maybe they thought circumcision only applied to Jews.
Now we're assuming.
Well, you're asking me there. Am I in the Council of Jerusalem?
Okay, cool. So we're assuming.
Right.
So we're basically assuming that.
No.
Yeah, we are.
Look. Forget your red herrings again.
No,
we stick to the facts. You're asking me why did the disciples of Jesus decide against circumcision? Yeah? How the bloody hell will I know?
That's what I'm saying. You're assuming.
Well, what are you asking me the question for?
Because, so you don't know, right? Simple as.
No.
I don't know.
All right. Did they rule against it?
I don't know. This is what I'm trying to say.
Did they rule against it?
Rule against what?
Circumcision.
Well, they went against it. Yeah.
They did go against it. Does it matter why they did?
Does it matter? Well,
Yeah.
Kind of does.
Why?
Because the Jews always circumcised.
Right. And are you a Jew?
No, I'm not a Jew.
Right. So what's that got to do with Jews being always circumcising?
Okay, it makes me wonder. So
Well, maybe what the Jews thought is that circumcision was only for the Jews. Now, the thing about circumcision...
maybe, okay.
Well, no,
We're going on maybe.
all right.
No, but you said maybe.
Okay. Who brought circumcision in?
So who brought circumcision?
Yeah.
Like, who originally brought circumcision?
Yeah.
Or God originally brought circumcision?
No, but which prophet?
Moses.
No.
Abraham.
Yes. Okay. So, the Jews under their impression were that people descended from Abraham, were to be circumcised, yeah? The covenant, okay. The food laws, where did they come from?
Through Moses.
No.
Yeah, through Abraham?
No.
I'm not sure.
Noah.
Noah's time.
They're Noahite laws. So Noahite laws of food laws, predated circumcision.
Okay.
Right. So the Jews could have thought, because it was sign of the covenant, circumcision, then only Jews, descendants of Abraham.
Where in Noah's time did it talk about food items?
I'm not going to deflect, mate.
Okay, fine. Let's just get back to the old topic.
Are you going to challenge the Noahite laws now?
No, I'm asking. I'm not
Okay, I'll tell you what to do. Ready for round 3, you're going to do this, yeah? You go check that out and come back to me and say, you know what, Hamza, you're right about that. Okay, the food laws are Noahite laws, yeah? They predate.
I realise you don't like discussing, you always like debating.
What?
You don't like discussing, you like debating.
Listen, I was minding my business in the park, yeah? You came to me and said, oh, I'm ready for you now, I've done my research, yeah?
Okay.
Right? So, you've stopped me now, you've took my time up here, so I'm here for you, no problem, okay?
Really? Okay. From last time when I got dragged here and you were telling me to discuss something.
Last time,
I'm not ready.
Last time,
and I said I'll come back.
Last time, who came to who?
Are we really going to do this again? Because the other guy brought me here, and it was actually
Okay.
a discussion. And I actually didn't know he was bringing me to you.
Did you see me?
Yeah, I did see.
So could you not go, oh, you know what, I'm not ready for this guy yet.
But I actually thought, oh, we could just do a discussion. But I didn't know you were going to do a debate. Like,
What's
if I
my-
knew-
could just
you
do a
want-
if I
discussion.
knew you were on a debate like this back and forth, then I wouldn't have, come to debate you. Because first of all,
What do
at
you-
the time I wasn't actually there to have a debate with anyone. I was there to discuss. But then after that, when you bring the whole thing about discussion, I was like, fine. Do you know what? We might as well.
What's the
debate.
difference between debate and discuss?
Well, debate is trying to prove a point.
And discuss?
Discuss is to understand one another.
Right.
Right. So
So what, I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
it's a debate. But anyway.
What do you mean? A debate is you have a point of view about something, I have a point of view about something, and we debate to see whose point of view is correct.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah?
Right. Yeah.
To discuss, well, explain the scenario again.
Discuss.
Yeah, you're going to discuss your thing, I'm going to discuss my thing, and then what?
No, discuss to understand one another.
Right? What?
Then you can't. Are you telling me discuss and debate?
Why do you care what I think about this?
Why do I care?
Yeah, why do you want to discuss with me?
Why not? I do that with many Muslims all the time over here.
Right. But you come here with a claim, my brother. So support it. Do you know in logic, yeah?
Right.
You have to support your claim with your proof, isn't it? Your evidence. Now you came to me and changed your position because last time you said, I didn't really know, didn't know what to say, so I just said anything.
But at the same time, if you think about it, if we are going to talk about discussions.
Anyway,
No, sorry.
I'm not even going to go for your red herrings or your deflections or your straw men. Let's stay on point. So, going back to the Council of Jerusalem, when they were deciding, now this is me assuming now, based on the evidence of what I can see. Okay, they're in the council now, yeah? And they say, what should we do about these Gentile converts?
Yeah.
Do they have to circumcise, food laws, what should we do about them? And they might say, well, you know what? Circumcision is only really for the covenant of Abraham. And to be honest with you, these guys are not that. So I don't think circumcision should apply to them. But because the Noahide law of food and blood predates that, then there's no covenant that's attached to, right? So when blood is forbidden in the Bible, it's forbidden in the Bible before Abraham, meaning that's not part of that covenant. So circumcision was exclusive for the children of Abraham, and food law was not exclusive for the children of Abraham.
Okay, I don't know this, so I'm just going
I
to.
know you don't know this.
No, I'm going to take this from a grain of salt so I can check this out.
I know, I hope you do. So anyway, so let's go back to our point now. Now, you know, the hows and whys and wheres and withers. Okay, so the point here is this. The fact here is this. The disciples prohibited certain food,
Okay.
which means they did not believe all food is clean, as you claim.
Okay. Hold on, I'm going to read that verse one more time.
I'm going to read the verse for the benefit of the camera.
Wait, you said that circumcision is to make it easier for them, right? Because it's talking about the same thing. Can you show me where it says that? How it's based linked to that? I don't know.
Why? What's got to do with food?
It's to show, it's because
What's got to do with food?
because if it doesn't say that,
Right.
then my point still stands.
Right.
If it does say that, then
What point stands?
my point stands on the fact that it was only for the Gentiles, for them to make it easy for them. That was the only reason why they did it. I'm literally repeating myself.
Is that why the Jew? Is that why?
Yeah, go on.
Is that why you're?
What's he saying? To make it easy on the Gentiles, that's why they did allow them. They. What's he trying to say? How is that making his point? Because his point was the disciples made all food clean. The disciples are now telling Gentile converts you can't eat this, that, and that. How is that making it easy for them? How does that help his point?
Saying
Yeah.
they forbid blood because to make it easy for them.
No, I'm not saying that.
So what you said? So why they forbid blood then?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you are implying that though.
Yeah, I am implying that.
Right. So you're not saying that then, or you are saying that?
No, I am saying that.
You are saying
I don't know why it is, but
All right. Let me read it for the camera. Yeah. This is Acts 21, and we'll start at 17. When we arrived at Jerusalem, the brothers and sisters received us warmly. The next day, Paul and the rest of us went to see James, and all the elders were present. Paul greeted them and reported in detail detail what God had done among the Gentiles through his ministry. When they heard this, they praised God and then said to Paul, "You see, brother, how many thousands of Jews have believed, and all of them are zealous for the law. They have been informed that you teach all the Jews who live among the Gentiles to turn away from Moses, telling them not to circumcise their children or live according to our customs. What shall we do? They will certainly hear that you have come. So do what we tell you. There are 4 men with us who have made a vow. Take these men, join in their purification rites, and pay their expenses so that they can have their heads shaved. Then everyone will know there is no truth in these reports about you, but that you yourself are living in obedience to the law."
Again, I think I've conflated things. Anyway, I'm just demonstrating how Paul was not teaching, was teaching against the law, which would have included the dietary law. I should be reading Acts 15 again at this point.
For the Gentile believers, we have written to them our decision that they should abstain from food sacrificed to idols, from blood and from the meat of strangled animals, and from sexual immorality.
So they've told the Gentiles they can't eat blood, strangled animals, animals sacrificed to idols, or sexual immorality. So we've just read where the disciples of Jesus were teaching all food is not clean, even for Gentiles. Forget Jews, even for Gentiles, food is not all clean. I don't understand how he thinks this supports his argument.
Right. I actually preferred if you read the other version. I actually preferred if you read Acts 15.
The reason I read that verse, is because that's the last thing they say on it.
Okay.
After they made that decree, there's nothing else the disciples say about this.
No, but if you read 15, my whole point is I'm trying to figure out if circumcision is the reason, like you said that circumcision is the reason why it made it easier. All I want to know.
How else did it make it easier? What else made things easier? What were they troubled by? What were the Jews telling them they had to do? What was the reason in Acts 15 why they came to Jerusalem? We've already discussed this. The reason why they came to Jerusalem, because Jews were telling Gentiles they need to be circumcised and they need to keep the Mosaic law. Paul disputed with them. They came to Jerusalem to get their dispute resolved. The conclusion was, don't need to be circumcised, don't need to keep the Mosaic law. You just need to keep these particular laws. Don't eat the blood of an animal, sacrifice animal, blood, sexual morality. Okay. So, and then when they wrote the letters to these churches telling them the good news, because we heard you've been troubled. Now, what's going to trouble you? What was troubling you that now you're? Oh, yeah. Imagine you're some strapping Greek geezer, 29 years old, and you forgot following Zeus and all that now, and you're following you fell for Paul's letters, and you're following the Christ, and what would have to believe? And Paul says to you, "Don't worry, son. It's not by your works. You don't have to do anything. It's by your faith you shall be judged. Just believe Jesus to have your sins." And this 29-year-old strapping Greek guy, like, yeah, fantastic, nice one. Yasu, I'll become a Christian then. And then, so he's all happy in his new conversion. And then all of a sudden, he gets these Jews. Sir, did you become a Christian? Did you follow the Christ? Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Welcome, brother. Okay, now it's time for snippy. Sorry, what? Snippy. Snippy what? Yeah, you're following Jesus now. It's time. What? Snippy what? Snippy. It's time to say goodbye to it. That would be a concern. Hey, Paul, come here. This geezer is telling me I need to. Really? You never said anything about that. No, you don't need to do that. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Come here, snippy. That's what's troubling them. And they go to Jerusalem and they ask, and the disciples go, Don't worry. No snippy for you. Only snippy for Jews. You're not a Jew. No snippy. You're okay. Relax. Calm down. Obviously, that's what bloody troubled them.
If it's true, then you're right. If not, then you're wrong.
Okay, why did they tell him not to eat blood?
I said I don't know. I said this to you already.
Right, is it to make it easier?
I don't know.
Well, you're implying
Yeah.
that they were prohibited from eating blood to make it easy for the Gentiles.
Actually, to make this easier, wouldn't it be easier if you just give me the verse just to prove my point and debunk what I just said? Wouldn't that just
Well, the Council of Jerusalem. Okay.
not? Yeah.
Yeah.
On circumcision to do with.
All right. The apostles and elders met to consider the question. After much discussion, Peter got up and addressed them. Brothers, you know that some time ago God made a choice among you that Gentiles should hear from the lips the message of the gospel and believe. God, who knows the heart, showed that he accepted them by giving them the Holy Spirit to them just as he did to us. He did not discriminate between us and them, for he purified their hearts by faith. Now then, why do you try to test God by putting on the necks of Gentiles a yoke that neither we nor our ancestors have been able to bear? No, we believe it is through the grace of our Lord Jesus that we are saved just as they are. The whole assembly became silent as they listened to Barnabas and Paul telling them about the signs and wonders. Yeah? Okay. It is my judgment, therefore, that we should not make it difficult for the Gentiles who are turning to God.
Just a quick one while we're on this topic. This guy remembers his snippy like it was flipping yesterday.
Instead, we should write to them, telling them to abstain from food polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, from meat of strangled animals, from blood. For the law of Moses has been preached in every city from the earliest times and is read in the synagogues on every Sabbath.
So don't say that
Say what?
about circumcision. It's not because circumcision makes it easy for them. I never heard circumcision.
It's food,
It's just food. So it's
right?
So it's to make it easier for them. So right now we don't know.
No what?
It's not in the verse. I'm asking you, is it in the verse? Yes or no?
Oh, you honestly.
That's simple. It's not in the
All right, one second.
Can this geezer not read between the lines? Can he not see what things infer? Does it have to be explicit every single time? I mean, they read the Bible and they read I am the Father of one, and all of a sudden there's this great explanation and it's no problem. Is it a comprehension problem? The Jews were troubling the Gentiles, telling them they need to be circumcised. They come to Jerusalem, they make a decision, don't worry guys, you don't need to be circumcised. We'll make it easy for you. Just don't eat these things and do this sexual immorality thing, and everything else is all right.
So you either made a mistake or you didn't know. Simple.
All right. Then the apostles and elders with the whole church decided to choose some of their own men and send them to Antioch with Paul and Barnabas. They chose Judas, called Barsabas, and Silas, men who were leaders among the believers. With them they sent the following letter. The apostles and elders were brothers. To the Gentile believers in Antioch, Syria and Cilicia, greetings. We have heard that some went out from us without our authorization and disturbed you, troubling your minds by what they said. So we...
Troubling your minds? My man Yurgos is troubled. Yeah, he's being told snippy. Yeah, this is what they're troubled by.
all agreed to choose some men and send them to choose with our dear friends Barnabas and Paul, men who have risked their lives for the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, we are sending Judas and Silas to confirm by the word of mouth what we are writing. It seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us not to burden you with anything beyond the following requirements. You have to abstain from the food sacrificed to idols, from blood, from the meat of strangled animals, from sexual immorality. You will do well to avoid these things.
Right.
So the question was, do they need to be circumcised? Yeah.
Right. That's
Okay. The answer was no, because it's not in the decree.
what? Wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense. So,
Oh, does it not?
Wait, but you said it's to make it easier for them. That's the part I just want to know.
Yeah. So you don't need to be circumcised.
Yeah, but it doesn't say that.
But that was one of the meetings of the council.
It doesn't say that.
What?
It doesn't say that. Just say you don't. Just say it doesn't say that.
It doesn't say what?
It doesn't say that you need to be circumcised. Right now, I may assume.
Was Paul No. Was Paul teaching they need to be circumcised?
Was Paul teaching they need to be circumcised? I can't remember. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But from what you read, the whole verse, and from my main point, there's no proof that circumcision was the reason for the reason they needed to be circumcised. So my point still stands.
What's your point?
My point still stands is to say that
The point is this: you as a Christian.
That's the reason.
No. Look.
Wait, let me-
The point is simple. You, Emanuel, you don't need to be circumcised, but you can't eat a Big Mac. That's the point. No more to it.
no, because if my point is right, then I could say it's the only reason why for the Greeks, for the Gentiles at the time, for them to make it easier for them is so they don't fall into temptation and sin, like I originally said.
No, he said because no, he didn't say that. He said why didn't he say they couldn't eat blood?
Because remember I said I didn't know about blood. I will look.
Well, go find out then.
Yeah, I'll check it out. But
So your point's mute.
No.
It's moot.
No, it's not, because when it comes to
Okay, if my point was this, no.
you're wrong. When it comes to idols, I'm right. Simple as. I don't know about blood. I'll check it out. I don't know why it's done with blood, but you're wrong when it comes to idols.
Is food with blood? Is it allowed?
I'm wrong when what comes to idols.
Just talk.
Is it allowed?
It's not allowed. Yes.
It's not allowed.
Yeah.
Right, but you just said the disciples allowed all food. Initially.
Yes, I did.
So you're wrong.
Why am I wrong? I said it's to make. Listen, hold on.
Sorry, Emanuel. No, one second, Emanuel.
I know you did that.
You what?
Nice try. You slightly diverted from what I was saying. Look, technically.
Sorry. He thinks I did something slyly, so now he's going to explain the slyness.
What I'm trying to say is basically yes and no, and I'll tell you why I'm saying yes and no.
Yes or no what?
Basically.
No, yes or no what?
On the fact that they can eat any food or not. Basically, what I was trying to say is the only reason that law exists for the Gentiles is because it's.
Does the law exist?
Yes.
Does it matter why it exists?
Huh?
Does the law exist?
Yeah.
Does it matter why?
Yes. Of course.
Why?
Yeah. I'm going to explain to you. Just cut me through. What I was trying to say is it makes it easier for them so they do not fall into temptation or sin.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
No, but if you're going to eat.
He didn't say that.
Listen.
No, but no.
See, look, he's using this thing. It doesn't say that. Now he's just making loads of stuff up that it doesn't say. But it doesn't matter for him. He can say it, even though it doesn't say it. I say infer something based upon what the text says. And apparently, because it doesn't say it, I don't know. And yet he's now stating, like he knows, yeah, it doesn't say it.
No. He didn't say that. He didn't say that, though. This is just you.
Let me explain. It's easier for the Gentiles. It's most likely if the Gentiles are from a place where they do idol worship, they're most likely going to eat that food. That's why you hear Paul saying that it's better for my brother not to.
Whoa. Why you gone to idols?
Because one says idol.
Why?
One
No.
says You kept sticking on blood sacrifice.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Why did I stick on blood? Why did I stick on blood?
Because you're telling me to explain blood, and I said I don't.
No.
And I said I'll go check next time.
You don't have to.
Idol.
You don't have to. Life is in the blood. According to the Bible, life is in the blood.
I don't know what to
All
say.
right. Well, no.
I run out of ideas.
If you accept that the disciples forbid the eating of food with blood, yeah, then you accept that the disciples do not consider all food.
You can't just singleize blood. It also says animals. What's it called?
You don't have to do that.
Idol worship, blood sacrifice,
You
and
don't have to do that.
Immorality. So those are the three. You can't just stick with blood sacrifice. That's all.
Why do you keep saying blood sacrifice?
Sorry, not blood sacrifice. I meant blood.
No,
Food in blood.
you can't. What does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What does that?
Blood in food.
Listen,
What does it mean?
my point is you can't stick to one.
What does it mean?
Listen, I'm not answering your question
This
because I want you to
conversation was about
understand
5
first,
years
before I
ago.
answer your question, that you have to talk about the fruit.
Oh, okay.
You can't just stick to one.
You know what? I'm going to grab your red herring. All right? I'm going to put it in my net in my boat. All right? I don't mind. Okay. Let's say you can't eat blood, yeah? We can't eat animals sacrificed to an idol. And you can't eat a strangled animal.
Yeah.
Those three, yeah? Are you prohibited from by the disciples of Jesus?
Yes. Oh my days, we're actually doing this again. Let's long it out. I think I want to end it here because when we keep talking about it, we get nowhere with this.
Because you made no sense.
We're getting nowhere. We've just determined 3 types of food you can't eat, where you just said the disciples said you could eat anything, and now you just admitted they said you can't eat these things. So you've just lost.
If those 3 things are prohibited, then you can't say the disciples allowed all things. It's impossible.
I'm saying for the Gentiles to make it easier for them.
Forget that, they can't eat them.
No.
They can't eat them. That's your understanding.
My point is,
that's you making that up.
listen, my
That's
point
you trying to justify it.
No, it's how it says.
It is.
If it didn't say easier, then if the Gentiles never had that type of thing, it would never say easier, and in that way we could eat all foods. That was my point from the beginning. So if that's my point, then my point still stands, like I originally said. If you were right about the circumcision,
What's your point?
Then I would have been like,
all right. You know what? I'm being accused that he came with a point and it stands. What was your point?
My point. Am I actually? I really can't go to say. Am I saying this again?
I want to know the point.
Okay, I'm going to say this one last time. After that,
What's your point?
my point is, if it's supposed to be easier for them, that is the reason why that law existed. If it was
According to whom?
according to, was it Peter was the one?
Was it prohibited?
Simon was the one.
Was it prohibited?
Yeah, it was prohibited.
Does it matter why?
Yes, of course it matters why. Of course it matters why.
Did the disciples...
Do you know why it matters why? Because he said easier. That's why it matters why. Or it wouldn't have mattered. It's the word easy. That's the whole argument. That's
it?
Literally, that's it. That proves.
Proves what?
That proves that what Paul was saying was technically still right. Because Paul said the same thing.
What would the disciples think of me if I had a chunk of meat with blood in it?
Paul technically said the same thing.
Not Paul.
The disciples.
Yeah.
I told you I didn't know about the blood thing.
They prohibited me.
I told you didn't
Would they consider that food I was eating clean? No. Because I'm not going to allow you to get from my point. You said it from the very beginning, yeah?
I said to you, idol worship.
I'll tell you what you said. You said the disciples considered all food clean. You said that.
Right.
And now you're explaining to me.
What's my reason?
No, listen.
Okay, go on.
You said the disciples declared all food clean, and now you're trying to explain why certain foods they didn't consider clean was the reason. That's a bloody contradiction, mate.
No, it's not.
Oh my God.
It really is not. You just don't understand. What
I don't understand.
was my point? Actually, just explain my point. What was my point?
Your point was this. The reason why the food was prohibited is important. Yeah? That's your point.
Continue.
My point that you came to rebut.
Wrong.
What was my point?
What was your point?
Yes.
You wanted to know if...
No, my point that you've... No,
Your
listen.
point.
No. My point from last time that you came to rebut today. What was that?
It was to do with...
What was my point?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a point. It was to do with the fact that did the disciples and Paul believe in the same thing when it came to food?
No. My point was this. The disciples did not consider all food clean, whilst Paul did. Okay. What you're trying to rebut that with is why they didn't consider the food clean.
So wait, hold on. Is your argument? You're telling me that your argument says that they did not accept all foods clean. Is that what you're saying?
My argument is simple. According to the teachings of the disciples, you are not allowed to eat any food you like.
I agree then. I technically agree with what you're saying.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
All right. And according to Paul, you can.
Yeah, but I said...
So now, I was right from last time, and you came to rebut me, and you believe now the same.
No. Because you didn't understand my point. I understand your point.
So all right, so let's clarify, because you've changed your position now. So
No, I think it's a miscommunication.
no, you've changed your position
No,
now.
it's a
Okay.
miscommunication.
Well, what's the
You
cap?
didn't understand what I said.
Everybody remember what I just said now?
Please do.
From the minute one, he came here and said, Paul taught all food was clean, and the disciples... Listen. You taught that, and you said the disciples taught all food is clean. And now you're admitting the disciples didn't teach that.
Remember what I said at the beginning to you when I said to you, if I say yes or I say no, you won't fully understand me. That's why I said...
It's a simple question.
No, it's not. Because
It's not?
No, it's not a simple question. Because if it was a simple question, I could give you a simple answer.
According to the disciples of Jesus, can I eat a Big Mac?
I should keep quiet what I'm about to say. Now you're using blood.
Yeah.
Which I said...
Yeah, can I?
I know.
Can I?
We're literally
Can I?
saying the same thing again.
Can I?
Huh?
Can I?
No, I already said this, but why?
All right, listen. So according
Can we end
to...
it here? Can we do something next time?
Listen, before you go.
No.
Listen.
Do nothing next
According to
time.
you, according to the disciples of Jesus, I can't have a Big Mac, yeah? According to Paul, I can.
Yeah.
So it's contradiction.
Didn't I say I'll look into the blood sacrifice?
It's not blood
Blood
sacrifice.
sacrifice, sorry, the blood,
Food containing blood.
yeah, food containing.
If it's not halal and if it's not kosher, you can't eat it.
I did say I'll look into that. I said but what I said about the what's called the sacrificing to idol worship, I was still right about that. So that's
Right, but what?
I'm not gonna
It's just another type of food you can't eat.
but I'm not gonna repeat.
I'm not asking.
I've
No.
repeated myself, so
Here's what you're doing, you see. You're trying to justify why you can't eat these types of food, yeah? And I'm saying you can't eat these types of food, regardless of the reason. You came here for...
it's important.
It's not.
It is. It really is. If you don't believe it as well,
No, why can't you eat blood? Because the Bible says life is in the blood. Those are cursed who eat blood. Yeah? So the disciples of Jesus would be pretty stupid to ignore what God has taught all that time and say, yes, all right, you can eat blood.
no, I actually believe that they were. That's why I said when it goes against the Gentiles, it's easy. But I'm literally repeating myself. So I'm going to stop there.
All right, what you need to do, Emmanuel, is go and see why, as you cannot eat blood. Why did God say don't eat blood initially to Noah? Yeah? Why was it taught? What's the consequences of eating it?
We'll look into that another time. Yeah.
Well, it's prime. It's prime. Because
But anyway,
Paul says you can eat blood.
Anyway, I'll rather I've been here for
Emmanuel, always a pleasure.
Not really a pleasure. There's a mental in Speaker's Corner.
Mental. Have you seen?
I swear, it's like the local mental hospital has a day trip every Sunday, and the coach piles up, and Hatoum gets on it, and Asif gets on it, and Captain Bloodfire gets on it, and Kay gets on it, and Soko gets on it, and they bring it to Hyde Park, and they all pile off. They spend the day at Speaker's Corner, go for a meal later, and then it's back to the hospital because they're all mental. Honestly, I don't know why I put myself through it. I really, really don't. What's with my chair? Need a new chair. It needs to get this chair to the shop. This one doesn't go up and down. So the whole point of the whole conversation was, did the disciples of Jesus consider all food clean? No. If the disciples of Jesus didn't consider all food clean, then clearly in Mark, where the author of Mark says Jesus made all food clean, they didn't get the memo. When Peter has the vision and the blanket coming down, didn't get the memo. Now, remember one thing, Peter, James, John, all recipients of the Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost, all supposed to, with you're the driver, mate, all witnessing Jesus' miracles and parables and explanations and all this kind of stuff, didn't get the memo. Paul got the memo. That was tough. That was brutal. What's the best Christian argument for this? There isn't one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not speaking to the right Christians. I don't know. Maybe I need to raise my caliber of conversations with people I speak to, because I've made a decision. Next time I go Speaker's Corner, I'm not going to speak to anybody I've spoken to before. Next week, I'm not going to speak to anyone I've spoken to before. No way. I'm going to try and find new blood. There's got to be someone with some intelligence. Maybe this Roma guy in the chat might be able to help. I don't think so, though. Cheeky argument. Camera, behave yourself. I've not heard it yet. How's Red Dead? We'll pick it up. Don't worry. Did you see my beating up the gambler? Shall I share that? Shall I share it? Let me see if I can find it. I think I've shared it once, but I'll share it again. I don't mind. I thought it was funny. People don't know what I'm talking about with the Red Dead. Let me see if I can find it. Was it there? This is what you're missing on the gaming channel, guys. Me playing poker. Ace high again. Let me share it. 1 second. Twice. Ace high.
That'll do.
I hate Isaac. Look at his face. I feel like I want to shoot through the window at him. Just start a fight with him. I'm going to beat him up. Should we beat him up? Let's get up and punch him. Honestly, I'm going to beat him up after this game.
Why not? Okay.
What do you reckon? We'll beat him up after the game because he just got a face that wants punching.
Show me what you got.
So.
Yes. All right.
Oh, okay, he's still in the game, man. Yeah, so it's killing innocent people. All 3 and a 9. It's a game.
How about this? Ah, crap.
You naughty man.
Ah. That'll do.
I'm gonna beat up Isaac. I can't wait to beat him up.
I best get on before I'm in trouble with my lady.
Where are you going? The guy opposite me. That guy's gonna get it. Watch his face. All right. Oh wait.
Thank you. That was fun.
Bye now.
Why, hello.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. Morning.
Can I beat him up or what? Oh come on.
I guess you got
Morning,
to
Dave.
Oh,
Whoa
shit.
now. You're making a big mistake with that.
slow down a few things.
Hey, you don't want to do that.
I do. I do.
That's right. Best to live another day. Christ alive.
Mind putting that weapon away there?
Hello again. Hope the last one.
There you go. We're gonna beat up Isaac.
That's why.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him. Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, there he is. There he is.
Don't you do this.
Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Hold on. Damn.
Oh,
I don't know what this is about.
where's the witness?
Please. All right. Stay calm. It's in good hands now. Very good. You've done this before.
Beat up Isaac, a new mission. Oh.
Damn right. Move next time.
Shit.
Funniest was that guy who I chased down with the horse and lassoed him off it. No, he needed slapping. Anyway, that was fun. So that's what you're missing on the gaming channel when I go live. So I didn't kill him. I beat him up. His smug face at the poker table, man. That was really, really good. All right, what's the time? I'll give it another maybe 15 minutes if you don't mind, so I can go. Tomorrow, inshallah, we should be ready with the proper video that was supposed to have been today. Once you kill someone in that game, they're dead for the whole game. Yeah, definitely. We're going to be playing FIFA soon on the gaming channel, so you need to jump across and get involved. Become members. Members can involved in the actual gaming. So we're playing Ark Survival Evolved as well at the moment. And if you're a member, you get automatic entry to the server that we're on. So you bought Return of the God Hypothesis. Fantastic. That's a good book, isn't it? Let me see if we got a sneak preview of the other video. Maybe I did a sneak preview. Let me just check. Let's have a look. Has he uploaded it? No. Why does it look like he's uploaded it yet? I don't think. Here's a taste of Ark. Yeah, I'll give you a taste of Ark. Oops. To show you what you're missing on my gaming channels. Oops, where's StreamYard gone? Don't know what's going on. We're gonna play. Why was it like? Oh no, got an echo. Don't know what's going on there. Do you remember this? That was funny. Yeah, it jumped on the bolt and everything. Yeah, it was an allosaur. It wasn't a T-Rex, but anyway. So this is the fun we have on the gaming channel. So you should check it out. Hamza's Gaming Flex. Yeah, we're gonna go soon now, Mariam. Don't worry. I just come across that I forgot about. I'm trying to find this new video. Oh, this looks like a nice speech. What's that about? This is a public service announcement to the Christians. You all rely on Paul or the church fathers, and if you rely on the church fathers, they rely on Paul. Everybody relies on Paul, and if Paul is preaching something the disciples didn't teach, in fact, he's teaching the opposite. That means whatever Paul saw, wrote to Damascus, wasn't Jesus. The question that needs to be asked: no idea where that's from. Oh, this is a taster of what's to come. Let me give you a taster of what's to come. So this is from the video that is going to have the Towie mode. This is going to have EastEnders mode and Towie mode attached, but this is just a taste of it. Oh no, this is EastEnders mode. Oh, actually, this is not. No, this is something else. This is just the basic. This is before the audio and everything. Forget it. Ignore that. All right. So my schedule, as my lovely sister Bushra is asking me for. So tomorrow, inshallah, we've got a book club at 6:30. Then at 9:30, we've got reaction to the proper video of that. No, we're gonna have the premiere and a reaction. Tuesday, I might be working in the shop, so I might do a shop stream. Wednesday will be a shop stream. Thursday, I'll be gaming with Ponders. Friday's the arena. Big week. Sunday's at Speaker's Corner. What do I think about the Hindutva mob in Leicester, the Hindus? Pathetic. Muslims need to organise a little bit better, to be honest. Oh, the quality is really good, and the yeah, just look at the quality of this camera work. You don't see that on any other channel, or you won't see that on any other channel. You can even see the dimple in my nose, the detail. Good God. I'm on the shop on a Wednesday. Tuesdays I might be working this week. I'm not sure yet. Thank you, Brahim. You just killed 5 mouses with the glue. How did you kill them? You know what I used to do? I used to, when they're on the, you know, on the glue doing that business, I used to put them inside a carrier bag and then use my baseball bat on them. My mate just put them in the bin squeaking, but I can't do that. No, Abdul Hamid, it's not because of cricket. I'd rather have pay for the editing call. But all my vids are going to be this standard from now on. Any of the new stuff in Speaker's Corner. So you won't need to ask, is this new? Is this old? If you see it looking like that, you know it's recent. When I say recent, probably within the past month, because it takes a while to get them together. But they're going to be well worth watching. Yeah, everybody asked me for a selfie, mashallah. You put glue on some paper with food on it. They were very small. 3 of them were still fighting, so I finished them with rocks. Yeah, I finished them with a baseball bat. How about I retire? Just get started, mate. Who's it? Anyway. Visible gallery. Okay. Get started. You wish I'd retire. You wish. I don't know who Ahmed Raza Khan is. Should I? Yeah, you know, yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna kill them? They're squeaking, stuck to glue. You can't get them off the glue. What are you gonna do? Time to say goodbye. How else are you gonna get rid of them? Say Bismillah before I say goodbye to them. Get a piper, but they're stuck to the glue. You will be in London last week of October, inshallah. I want to meet you and to meet me. Okay, inshallah. Come to my shop. I'll probably be in Speaker's Corner, one of those, depending on what happens with this Qatar. I've applied to go to Qatar for the World Cup to do dawah. I had to give a CV. I think I give it anyway. Let's see whether I get accepted or not. I didn't watch Sunday Chill. Was there something cool or Christian waffling? It was just relax. Don't buy the glue ones and use the snap traps that happen instant. No, I don't know. I like the glue. Will you do any vlogs any day soon, like a live stream style one, walk in a park? Probably not. It'd be interesting to do dawah at the World Cup, to be honest. We put them in a bag and smashed it on concrete. Yeah, I put them in a bag, but they're stuck on glue, so I have to use a bat. But I'm not, alhamdulillah, where I am now, alhamdulillah, there's no mice. Christians run for the hills here. They don't stick about. Well, I think the only way I'm going to get good caliber opponents is by doing moderated debates now, because can't find any decent Christians who've got like a little bit of sense about them. It's like I say, the Christians' minds are in a box. They know as soon as they look at what they believe, it crumbles in the hand. Alhamdulillah. But like I said, we don't get Christians here anymore. I need to do something about this camera. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this reaction after party to Emanuel. As infuriating as I forgot how infuriating he was. Just right at the end, still, you know, come off it. You won't debate me, Rob. You're just as mental as the rest of them. I can't. I don't debate the mad. Honestly, he's so delusional. It's unreal. So-called Chris. Who's so-called Chris? I've not come across so-called Chris. Why is he mental? Anything that attracts that idiot so-called, I don't really want to do anything around him. Oh, you loved it? Oh, nice one, Psycho. Inshallah. It's not Rob, it's Stan. Everybody, it's Stan. We're going to make that name stick. Yeah, Arsenal and Spurs doing all right. I'm gutted United didn't play Leeds today. Our next game is City. October the 2nd or 3rd. Our Monday tomorrow's like a Sunday because the Queen died. So dishonest Chris. Okay. Maybe we'll do some No, we don't need to do reactions to them jokers. Can't be bothered. Okay, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Don't forget, book club is at 6:30, and then inshallah afterwards, Stan's the name. We know, Rob. We know Stan is the name. Yeah, book club 6:30, and then inshallah the first EastEnders video with reaction later, inshallah. Until then, assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you everybody for joining. It's always lovely to see you. You know what's coming.